So I rise to talk about the tragic situation, Mr. President, the humanitarian disaster that has occurred in the wake of last week's earthquake and the U.S.-led response to this crisis. Last Tuesday, as we all know, as the world knows, one of the largest earthquakes recorded in the area hit about 15 miles from the capital city of Port-au-Prince in Haiti. This massive quake brought immediate destruction to Port-au-Prince and surrounding areas and communities, instantly crumbling houses, buildings, destroying roads, seaports, cutting power and water lines throughout the country. Most tragically, Mr. President, the earthquake has killed tens of thousands of Haitians who, at the time the quake struck, were simply going about their daily lives. Desperate lives, I might add, but daily lives. The government of Haiti has indicated that they believe 70,000 of their fellow citizens have been killed in this earthquake. Other officials fear the death toll may be as high or more than 200,000 people as a result of those 15 seconds that caused that nation state to crumble. These heart-wrenching numbers do not even account for those injured, that are homeless, the orphaned without food, water, shelter, or any kind of medicine. And the losses extend well beyond Haitians. The United States also lost a dedicated public servant named Victoria DeLong, who was serving as the cultural affairs officer at our embassy in Port-au-Prince. Several more Americans have been killed and many more remain unaccounted for a week later. The United Nations, no stranger to dangerous and difficult missions, has suffered its single greatest loss of life in the history of the United Nations. Over 100 United Nations staffers and peacekeepers remain unaccounted for. And the special representative for Haiti, Heidi Anambi, also lost his life. On behalf of my colleagues here, Mr. President, in the United States Senate, I want to extend our heartfelt condolences to the friends and the families of those who have lost their lives in Haiti. And they should know that you are in our thoughts and prayers every single minute of every day. This earthquake has been called a disaster of epic proportions. And when such a disaster strikes one of our neighbors, a country so close to many of us, our nation responds, as have others. I applaud President Obama, Secretary Clinton, and Administrator Shah for their immediate, robust, and coordinated efforts, which has truly been a whole government response utilizing resources, skills, expertise of our State Department, USAID, the Defense Department. Secretary Gates deserves great commendation. Our forces in uniform that poured into the area on a moment's notice to help out, as they always do, deserve particular recognition in this effort. We have deployed thousands of troops to Haiti who are supporting operations at the Port-au-Prince airport, working to provide logistical support, open up the port in Port-au-Prince. The U.S. has sent an aircraft carrier with numerous helicopters to deliver aid to otherwise hard-to-reach places in and around Port-au-Prince, a hospital ship to provide life-saving medical care, and urban search and rescue teams and doctors to help rescue those trapped and treat those who are injured. In addition to manpower, the United States has pledged money and supplies, including water, ready-to-eat meals, medicine to help those in need. This response has demonstrated the generosity and spirit of the American people, especially when it comes to helping others who are in desperate need, as clearly Haiti is. The American people have also responded, as we always do. It's a source of great pride, I know, for all of us to watch our fellow citizens, people whose names you'll never know, the denominations which they've given may not sound like much, but for people who've lost a job, lost a home, as I talked about a moment ago during this economic crisis, to reach deep into those almost empty pockets and to send that $1 or $5 or $10 to help out some family they'll never know, some child they'll never meet, in a place they may never go to, may never have known about before, is once again a demonstration of the spirit and the heart of citizens of the United States of America. Aid agencies and NGOs have reported an outpouring of support as our fellow citizens have donated money, clothing, supplies to hundreds of organizations that operate in Haiti today. These donations are absolutely critical at this time. Our former presidents, at a time when we can't seem to decide on a bipartisan basis what day of the week it is, to watch President Clinton and President Bush, two people who have been political opposites, very different points of view, sitting down together as two former leaders of our nation to head up the efforts here to provide relief to Haiti is a demonstration, I hope, of what we ought to be doing together here on occasions that affect our own citizenry. If two former combatants in the presidential field can sit down and become a team in responding to a crisis in Haiti, it ought to be a lesson about what we need to be doing here when it comes to our own crises here at home. I commend Bill Clinton, President Clinton, and President Bush, George W. Bush, for the tremendous work. I commend President Bush's father, who joined with President Clinton back when they saw the tsunami crisis hit Southeast Asia. The Bush family has always responded at times like this, and both father and son deserve our thanks and commendation for what they've done. And of course, Bill Clinton has dedicated his post-presidency period to a global initiative to help out every single day in places that are not the subject of news stories, as Haiti is. And he, of course, deserves our expression of gratitude as well. The international community has responded. Over 27 international search and rescue teams with some 1,500 rescuers from all around the world are already on the ground in Port-au-Prince and neighboring communities, searching through the rubble to find those who may have survived. And I know all of us sit there in absolute stunned admiration for those who have survived 6 and 7 days living in the midst of rubble, to be discovered alive and being extracted by rescue workers. And our only hope is in these waning hours, which one might expect someone to survive under those circumstances, we'll find additional people that somehow miraculously have survived this disaster. It's been unbelievable. Relief workers, doctors, supplies have arrived from China, Israel, Iceland, Brazil, France, more countries than I can enumerate here. The European Union has pledged over $500 million in assistance already, and I suspect more will be forthcoming. Despite its own tragic losses, the United Nations has come to the rescue of the Haitian people. The United Nations Stabilization Mission in Haiti, as it's called, has responded heroically to this disaster, organizing supply convoys, conducting search and rescue missions, and providing security. On Saturday, Mr. President, the World Food Program fed 40,000 people. And within the next week or two, that number will increase to 2 million people from the World Food Program. 2 million people will be fed by that organization. Private organizations are also doing heroic and valiant work, including the Red Cross, Doctors Without Borders, Save the Children, Partners in Health. And let me say particularly on Partners in Health, my great friend Paul Farmer, who has spent years in Haiti, as he has in other nations, working with HIV/AIDS and other issues, is there, as you might expect, in Haiti. I've spoken to him the other day about his needs, and he has many, Mr. President, as you might imagine. He needs orthopedic surgeons. He needs trauma specialists. He needs skilled nurses. He needs supplies. And my hope is in these coming days, coming hours, that we'll be able to get those resources to him. On the ground, the Obama administration and the international community are working as quickly as possible to distribute aid to those in need and to help clear the jam of supplies arriving at Port-au-Prince and Cape Haitian, in some cases in the northern part of the country. It is critical that aid gets distributed beyond the immediate confines of the airport, because those who survived the quake are now trying to survive once again without food and water and medicine and shelter. And at the same time, we must work as quickly as possible to ensure that violence does not break out as people become desperate to survive, as one might expect under these circumstances. The people of Haiti are our neighbors, and it is our duty to help them weather this storm, as others are doing as well. I strongly agree with Secretary Clinton, who during her trip to Haiti this past Saturday affirmed to the Haitian people that we will be here today, tomorrow, and for the time ahead as well. So, Mr. President, I want to take a few minutes to describe what I believe needs to happen at this time ahead of us that Secretary Clinton referred to. And these aren't questions that I know there are many others that are coming in, and we need to think about how we can intelligently respond to this. We can't do it all alone. We need help, obviously, from the international community. But there are some steps that we can take that I think would make some difference in all of this. In order to do that, we must understand where Haiti was the day before the earthquake struck. Despite its location only a few hundred miles from the wealthiest nation in the history of mankind, Haiti is one of the top 2 or 3 poorest nations on the face of this earth. It ranks as the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, with 80% of the population living under the poverty lines of this hemisphere. And while recent years showed some positive trends in economic growth, The 208 hurricanes devastated that country, causing widespread destruction and severely damaging the agricultural sector, upon which two-thirds of all Haitians depend. Remittances to Haiti represented more than twice the earnings from exports and accounted for a quarter of the gross domestic product of that nation. Haiti has also one of the lowest life expectancies in the world. The average Haitian income is less than $1 a day in terms of income, less than $1 a day. Clearly, Haiti had a lot of ground to cover before this earthquake struck, and rebuilding Haiti is not going to be easy for anyone. Many have debated why Haiti remains so poor and what could be done to alleviate poverty, improve public health outcomes, and help that nation develop a sustainable and equitable way forward. The debate is all the more important and necessary as we move forward. As chairman of the subcommittee on the Western Hemisphere, and as an American who knows and cares about Haiti, having spent so many of my formative years in that country, I am committed to finding the best solutions to these vexing problems and to working in close coordination with the administration, the United Nations, and our neighbors in the region, including Brazil, Mexico, and others, who are already there helping to rebuild Haiti. I might mention there are 400 physicians from the island of Cuba who are operating in Haiti today, down there trying to make a difference. Whatever thoughts people have about the government of Cuba, the fact is there are doctors now from that nation that only a few miles from the northern parts of Haiti that are down trying to save lives. And as we begin to transition from a rescue mission to a medium and long-term recovery mission, we must think creatively and allocate resources to the most effective and efficient methods for sustaining reconstruction and development. We must find ways to make Haitian agriculture better equipped to feed the people of Haiti and must work to forgive Haitian debt. In April of this past year, Haiti was added to the IMF and World Bank's list of heavily indebted, what is called the Heavily Indebted Poor Country Initiative. I'm sure there's an acronym for that. I don't know what it is, but that's what it's called, Mr. President. Heavily Indebted Poor Nation Initiative, making them eligible for special assistance with debt relief. This is an auspicious start, but one that we must build upon. Public insecurity has long been a systemic problem, hampering economic growth. Therefore, it's critical that we work with the Haitian authorities in that nation and others to build and reform the institutions to bolster the rule of law in Haiti that will be necessary to lift Haitians out of poverty, rebuild the country, and attract and maintain foreign direct investment to jumpstart that nation's economy. Throughout this process, we must not get bogged down by old formulas and hardened ways of doing business as usual. We must think outside the box, as the expression goes, marshal the necessary resources and creativity of our friends in the region. And the Haitian people must devise and be a part of a medium and long-term strategy for this effort. To that end, Senator Lugar and I of Indiana, the former chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, will be introducing legislation shortly, Mr. President. It will help to speed Haiti's recovery by instructing the Secretary of the Treasury to work with other nations and to totally relieve Haiti of their outstanding international debt, including the debt incurred through 2011. That ought to be something that every nation agrees to do, in the absence of which, I don't know how you can ever talk about economic recovery to saddle a country that doesn't even have a government today to meet those obligations. Additionally, our legislation will help to spur economic activity, which is absolutely essential if we're going to have any kind of recovery process. We will do so by promoting trade between the United States and Haiti and lifting any restrictions that would be barriers to trade to be able to flow between Haiti and the United States, putting people to work. The Haitian people have endured immeasurable suffering in recent days, but their spirit is indomitable. On Sunday, countless ordinary Haitians came together to observe Mass amid the bleak ruins of Port-au-Prince. Their faith in each other and their future may have been tested, but it is far from broken. And I stand committed, as I'm sure our colleagues throughout this chamber will as well. Our fellow citizens here at home, the international community, not just today, but for the weeks and months and even years ahead, to ensure that our commitment in helping Haiti to recover is meaningful, sustainable, and rises to the great challenge that we face. And with that, Mr. President, I yield the floor and note the absence of a quorum.